what also happens is that porcelain tiles are able to be printed on and shaped in a way that makes them look nearly identical to real wood floors or replications of marble. And
would you recommend certain tiles for certain areas of the house? For example, would you say your living room and kitchen would be different than your bathroom as far as porcelain or ceramic, or would you tend to recommend the same material throughout?
I think it all depends on, what the house is that you're doing. If it's a flip house or if it's a house that you're going to live in, it all has to match your lifestyle. So I always recommend doing the same tile throughout the whole house just because it makes it feel a lot more open. The less transitions, the better, in my mind. And I know that a lot of my customers agree with that these days. Normally people change their tile when they reach powder baths, or if they get into a master bathroom, they'll go ahead and do a corresponding wall floor tile, maybe in a marble sort. But I would say keep it the same as much as possible just because it makes it look like you did it all at one time.
Let me ask you about stone tiles. Stone tile isn't used like ceramic. You don't put it in a kiln and all that. It's just cut. Correct. Stone. Correct. And it's cut in the shape of a tile. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's got the same everything throughout because it's the same material.
Yes.
We're always in homes that maybe, let's just say they're 10, 15 years old, and they've maybe got white tile, and it's 12 by 12 or 18 by 18, and there's no patterns or anything. And it's great for reselling it, but sometimes people have carpet, and now they're thinking, I want to take up the carpet, and there's no way they can match this white tile. So we always come up with creative ways. We say, well, you can have a little threshold out of this tinier tile, like a little pattern, and then when you bring in another tile, something that kind of matches the threshold, and it makes it look like you planned it that way.
Sure.
Or if there's broken tiles in the middle, what I did on my home years ago is I had 18-inch tile, but the way my kitchen was, we put it on a different angle, and then we put a little threshold between the kitchen and the family room. And then in the middle of the family room, we actually made what looked like a inlaid carpet, or not carpet, but like a decorative oriental rug or something, just with various smaller tiles. And that always breaks up a big place without making it look too busy.
Sure.
And of course now they've got so many nice tiles that you can pick from that you don't have to be that creative and try to create something that's now exists, which is great. Let's talk a little bit about tiling bathrooms, because that's a big resale value. People always ask us, how much should I put into this home so I can get it ready to resell? And of course, a lot of it is planned on, what's the house value going to be? Because of course, you don't necessarily want to put in a $25,000 kitchen on a $100,000 house. So we have to look at things, and there's always ways to make something look new without necessarily spending a lot for cabinets and for other things. You can sometimes just create what you want with tile floors and maybe countertops and so forth, and get away with not spending as much. What do you see happening in kitchens and baths? We were talking about bathrooms. Let's talk about bathroom at like a regular tub bathroom. So you want to take out the standard. I remember my house is 30 years old. It's just about ready to see you. I'm going to have some new tile put in.
All right, you're welcome to come by.
I'm going to be. I just have standard beige tile. There's nothing fancy about it. And I think at the time they put in a little row of brown tile just to break up the beige. So if I want to redo this shower bath, because that's a kind of a standard 6 foot, there's all kinds of things you can do. Do you still recommend larger tiles for the walls, or what's the trend right now for wall tile in a bathroom?
Surprisingly, when you use a larger tile in a smaller space, it does not have the illusion where it's cluttered or that you can't get enough full pieces on the wall. Mm-hmm. Today's tile has pretty much the same color throughout the entire tile. Therefore, it doesn't look like... how does it look? A puzzle piece.
Right.
And the grout matches so closely, and it's all stain-resistant grout now, that you really can't see where one tile starts and another one stops. So I would recommend going as large as you feel comfortable with. Obviously, there's a point when it gets a little ridiculous, but I would say the standard size right now would be a 12 by 24, and it would be a actual floor tile being used on the wall. and they come in pretty much every single look you could ever dream of.
And what we have any kind of a price range? I know you can go the sky's the limit, or you can do something maybe in the outlet store, but kind of a range on a typical bathtub tiled wall area to update it.
Sure. I mean, most people who are doing redoing a tub wall, they're going to be right around that $2,000 to $3,000 price bracket. Once you get the plumbing fixed, 9 times out of 10, when you take out a 10-year-old tub and start digging into the fixtures and the cartridges and everything, you'll find that there's a pipe that's been just leaking onto the ground underneath the tub, and nothing's been connected for years. So plumbing is a huge cost that affects the price of everything,
sure.
As well as the walls. So we can't really foresee that. But I would say anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 for just the wall tile on a tub when it comes down to it. And then, if you're changing your tub into a walk-in shower and doing all the intricacies of glass doors and, putting a shower floor and curb and packing everything, you're going to be right around the $5,000 range when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you can save money by picking a cheaper tile, or if you have your own plumber, it really is just depending on every single case.
John, don't you think that's a great idea, though,
Absolutely.
for resales?
Again,
We're seeing
depending
it all the
on
time.
what you're seeing in the house to begin with, but some of the houses we've walked into, a $5,000 makeover would probably increase the value of the house more than that. That's the goal here. If you're going to put money into the house to help you sell it, your goal is to, at a minimum, get that money back and expedite the sale. And if you're going to go through the trouble and hassle of having your bathroom torn apart for a week or however long it takes, then you really want to profit from that. So a $2,000 to $5,000 investment in a bathroom to upgrade it from, a 1980s bathroom is usually going to be well worth the expense. What are you seeing in the trends? That's how you kind of hit on that with the 12 by 24. Are there trends? Is it purely style based, or again, trends are always style based, but what are the trends
Colors,
these days
maybe?
for colors and shapes? In other words, I know one of the baths we did 10 years ago had that, what do they call the subway tiles? And I still think it looks nice. We have a nice bathroom with the neat subway tiles in one of our baths. And then another one we laid it at the diamond look. We laid the square tiles at an angle. Mm-hmm. And are there different trends like that, or is it just designer choice?
Absolutely. Trends are changing all the time. Subway tile is something that's going to be around forever. So
describe what a subway tile, what that look is. It's not an actual tile called subway. It's the
right.
way
Subway
you
tile
apply
is
it.
It's a 3x6 tile, and it's just super simple to cut. It's easy to work with, and it's run in so many different patterns. The biggest thing about subway tile is that choosing your grout color, making it light or dark, can totally change the way the whole room looks. And subway tiles are very inexpensive, but they still leave a nice, I would say, upscale look to your bathroom. It looks intricate. And
the one tile that I see that seems to be in every magazine is that new glass tile. Do you see a lot? I see a lot of that in backsplashes in kitchens, but and a lot of trim work in bathrooms on the walls. But do you see all wall? Do they come in big pieces as well? Those glass tiles, or only decorative pieces?
we have many glass tiles to choose from, but glass tiles can go up to large sizes like 10 by 24, 12 by 24 in a glass tile. We see mostly 4 by 16, 4 by 12 glass tiles, and a lot of people are using them just because they reflect light so well. Mm-hmm. So they give it kind of a depth, and they make the room feel a little bit bigger. If you have under cabinet lights in your kitchen, or if you want to do it in your shower, it really gives it a nice clean and elegant and rich look, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
well, I also learned some things the other day when I was at Island Tile. I think everybody knows what a bullnose tile is, and that's the finishing tile on a corner of maybe a shower or something like that. But now there's other things that you can finish off the tile at the corners, right, or at the edges, I should say, not the corners. I remember pencil was one of them, I think, that Vinny told me about. What's some of the other finishing? They don't even use bullnose anymore, do they?
Right. Well, kind of to hit on what John said about the trends and patterns too. The sizing is getting bigger, and there's no denying that. We have tiles coming upwards of 5 foot by 10 foot now here soon, and they do come in a 1 centimeter instead of a 2 centimeter thickness, like your traditional tile is. And in doing so, you have a little bit more flex and everything to lay over floors or walls. However, when you do a large format tile, whether it be 12 by 24 or 5 foot by 10 foot, they are floor tiles being put on walls and floors. That means that the bowl nose is going to be, it would have to be a lot longer, number one. So you'd have, if it was a 10-foot piece, you'd have a 10-foot piece of bowl nose. So what we're starting to get into is tile trim. And tile trim is aluminum, and it comes anodized, powder-coated, whatever your look is. So you can match it up to your fixtures. You can do brushed nickel, oil rub bronze. And what that means is there's a little L channel. It'll slide underneath your tile, and you can use it for a finishing piece on your wall. You can use it as a transition piece between tile and carpet or tile and tile, whatever you'd like to do. But we're really seeing a large market increase in this right now. Pretty much, I would say 75 to 80% of our jobs going out are using tile trim in some aspect. And tile trim not only comes in different finishes, but it also comes in etched or engraved designs, so you can have a little bit more intricacy to your aluminum that's being fastened to your tile.
How do you get these ideas? I know you go to these different designer shows. There was just one recently in Orlando, but are you picking a lot of it up from the HGTV shows that people come in and say, I saw this on HGTV, or do you get information right from the tile companies that are talking about the various trends they're coming out with?
It's surprisingly, everything kind of starts in South Florida. They're the closest to the port. They're the closest to getting the newest tile. So we are very in touch with many different companies there. We have partnerships with, and when a tile comes in, we see how it works in South Florida, other areas, and we know that the trends from South Florida are eventually going to work their way to Melbourne, the Space Coast area. And so that's how we stay ahead of products as far as that goes. We at Island Tile also like to listen to our customers and see what their needs are and address those. So if they've been asking us for a gray marble look tile for a few months, and we keep track of how many people ask, and we say in our next round of picking out tile, whether it be at our tile shows in Italy, Spain, or something simple like in Orlando, then we go ahead and pick something out for them.
Oh, that's great.
I did want to just say that time is flying by, and it's been a very informative show, Will, and I very much thank you for it. Two things I want to comment on. You said the trends are coming from South Florida, and I want to give a plug to waterviewre.com, which is building a bridge between Broward and Brevard, because that's kind of our focus, is all the people moving up here. So Waterview Realty does accommodate those clients who are moving from there to here. But secondly, I'd like you to give your contact information. So you've given us a lot of great information. Let people know where we can reach Island Tile: phone, email, website, that kind of stuff.
Sure. Well, feel free to go on our website. It's www.islandtile.com. We also have a Facebook page where we try to update customer jobs and upcoming products. And then you can go ahead and email me if you'd like to with any questions at will@islandtile.com, or you can call the office at 321-676-1563. And we are a quarter mile south of 192 on US 1. You'll see a big Key West colored building with a steeple of Island Tile. So come on by and check us out.
And you're open on Saturdays, which is
We're open
good.
on Saturdays 9 to 3. And we have our warehouses in the back if you need anything at the same day.
I do want to give a plug. I built my house back in 2006, and I am very proud of my Island Tile.
Oh, there.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, John. And if you would like to learn more about Island Tile and maybe see some different pictures, I'd like to get some photos from you at some point in time, and we'll put that on our page at yourhometownsolutions.com. And I think we'll do a little Facebook something with some before and after pictures. We'll get those from you this week. And anything else that we can add to help you design your home, sell your home, we're here. Please ask us, and we'll ask the experts. We thank you for joining us today, and thank you, Will Brunson. Right? Am I saying that
Brunson,
right? Brunson.
correct.
I want to, put an extra syllable in there from Island Tile. Thank you so much for being. He's the general manager. And you've got a lot of background with all the designs and so forth, and we're happy to have had you here. Jonathan, do you want to go ahead and give out the information on Lack and Lack as well?
Lack and Lack Chartered, we can be reached at area code 321-953-5115 or at lacklaw.com.
And as we say, we cover everything from foreclosures